Hi, my name's Jeff, and I'm here with Riyaz, Knowledgetech Solution Architect. And today we're going to talk to you a little bit about Microsoft Windows 8. And Riyaz has just recently come back from Windows 8 Bootcamp. So we're going to pick his brain a little bit about some of his best practices that he saw there from app development. So I'll let you take it off from here.
Sure. So just before we get into the details, I would just want to lay some groundwork and say that Windows 8 is actually revolutionizing the way you use your desktops. Your desktop computers, you've been used to using a keyboard and a mouse. Microsoft envisions that the touch technology is growing fast and needs to be implemented or incorporated into day-to-day lives. It's caught on really well with all the consumers. So Microsoft's getting on the touch technology as well, and Windows 8 is now going to be touch aware. And what they mean by touch aware is that you will be able to use touch and or keyboard and mouse to use your desktop or to do your desktop applications. So with Windows 8 coming in as a touch-enabled application, what you do need is you do need to be aware of the tools that are going to be provided so that you can do application development, and your applications that you develop are also touch-aware and are in line with the vision that Microsoft Windows 8 brings to the table. So to enable you to do that, Microsoft has released a Visual Studio package that enables you to do Windows 8 application development.
So it's just a standard template, or is that just the actual application?
Again, as most of the developers know, that Visual Studio is your application development platform to develop applications for Windows, and Microsoft has released templates again that work with Windows 8 development. So you can start from a pre-existing template like a grid layout template and take your application forward from there.
Okay.
So yes, Microsoft has done decent investment. Another thing that comes handy with the Visual Studio is that your desktops right now, there are tons of manufacturers that manufacture desktops that run Windows operating system, and that's not going to change. So you're still going to have a lot of different manufacturers, a lot of different screen sizes, a lot of different players in the market. However, Windows 8 needs to cater to most of them, so it comes in with a built-in stimulator, which can stimulate your application on a tablet versus on a desktop computer, different resolutions, a 20-inch desktop monitor versus a 23-inch versus a 25-inch, so different resolutions. So the stimulator is again an add-on into your Visual Studio toolkit.
Now, does that also include portrait or landscape?
Yes, so it lets you flip around.
Okay.
It lets you stimulate your touch versus your keyboard clicks,
okay.
Your right click versus a drag. Things like that, all those things are. So to do development for Windows 8 applications, what they've also introduced is a brand new layer of API. It's called WinRG API. It's called Windows Runtime APIs, and those APIs give you options on using these new touch-aware features in your application. So you can say what happens when you actually tap, or what happens when you tap and hold. So those kind of options are available. From a development perspective, Microsoft has really kept it open, and you can do your development either using JavaScript and HTML/CSS, or you can do your development using C# and XAML,
okay.
or VB.NET and XAML.
So pretty much anything.
Yeah, and C# and XAML as well. So yeah, depending on your comfort level, you can write apps in any of these options, and those will work with Windows 8. One of the other things that Microsoft is banking on is the no Chrome approach.
And can you explain what the Chrome?
So by Chrome, what we mean is if you were to look at a standard application, which is a Windows Explorer.
Okay.
So Windows Explorer comes into a window which has boundaries on it. It's got a title bar which is a separate bar with a line under it. It's got the top navigation bar with a line into it. And then it's split into like two big boxes, a left side box which gives you all your folder structure, and then a right side box which shows you all the details. with lines drawn in. So
no Chrome would just be a lot more screen space.
Yeah, no Chrome. Basically, what research has shown is that human mind is capable of grouping things without having those lines in there. So if a human mind looks at a chunk of information, it automatically categorizes it and groups it into chunks best logically suited for them.
Okay.
So we don't need those lines to actually show the distinction. Human mind is capable of drawing that line, an imaginary line in between.
Okay.
But removing those lines actually now gives you a much cleaner slate. It works from end to end, so there's no window that, no boxes that come around it.
And a lot more space for developers to play with.
A lot more space for developers to play with. So Microsoft is banking on the no Chrome approach as well. The other thing that they have is an approach to asynchronous.
Okay.
So right now what happens is if you were to do some processes, you click on it and then you wait and you wait and you wait, and then things happen and gradually go into the next phase, right? Say you're doing a calculation, you say calculate, and then you wait and you wait and you wait, and then the calculation appears on your screen. Microsoft is saying that a lot of those tasks need to happen asynchronously. Mm-hmm. By asynchronous we mean that you don't have to wait on the screen, you can do other things while the calculation is going on, and once the information is available, it will be shown to you on the screen.
Okay.
So you don't need to click and then sit there and wait and wait. You can do other things within the application while this process is running, and then once the process is completed, it will push back the information to you.
Okay.
So that's another approach that they want to go to. From a business standpoint, I think application development is now not going to be restricted to organizations or companies, big companies that would have tons of developers to do your application development. It's going down to more nitty-gritty where individual developers can write their own apps, put them up on the App Store, and people will download apps from the App Store on their desktops, just like they right now do for their tablets and their phones. A similar kind of a concept, a revenue-making concept, where Microsoft is willing to share 70% of the revenue generated by your app with you.
And that's in the App Store, of course.
That's in the App Store, and I think if you make more than 25 grand in revenue, then they would give you 80% of the revenue generated. Fees are pretty much in line with all the other app stores in the market. You make tons of money just by being a developer and having a smart idea yourself. You don't have to work for a company to have an app on there.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us. And again, how can people reach you?
People can contact me here at Knowledgetech, or they can email me at rlakhani@knowledgetech.ca.
Excellent. You can find us on LinkedIn. Just type in Knowledgetech and we'll come up. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Great, thanks.